I'm Kevin O'Connor. I work with a team at this old house that rebuilds old homes. I'm on a trip to meet another team. Most of them spent years volunteering to serve their country. Now, they volunteer to rebuild lives. When people run away from disaster, these are the men and women who run towards it. Their mission is to help the neediest. They call themselves Team Rubicon. Last year, Team Rubicon conducted over 100 operations across the globe, logging over 350,000 volunteer hours helping survivors. No matter the type of disaster, Team Rubicon is there.
You have 2 saws. I will get you those numbers for those 2 saws.
But before any volunteers arrive, a FOB, or a forward operating base, must be established. It's their home base for the week. It's where the volunteers sleep and eat. While on Operation Sunshine Strong in Florida, our FOB was housed in a local American Legion.
They said it was going to be an American Legion, and, well, that says it all right there. Yeah, looks about right. A little place to eat and cots, I don't know, 20, 30 of them. It's starting to feel familiar. This is the living quarters.
To help the volunteers feel at home, most FOBs are set up the same way, so they feel familiar.
Everyone's a volunteer with Team Rubicon. Everyone does a little bit of everything once they get to the FOB. There's a chore list, so you keep the place clean.
It's not only the FOBs that are set up the same way, but also the schedule. Each day starts at 6 a.m. with wake up and chow.
Got the day's uniform on. Gray shirt and a smile. And a good pair of boots. You put the gray shirt on and it immediately tells everyone what you're up to, you know, and whether they're here and they know that you're part of the team or out there, they know you're there to help. I think that was the timer on the toast, but I can smell the coffee. They keep you well fed, that's for sure.
Welcome. Thank you.
After fueling up, it's time for the 7:30 meeting, where we hear from all of the departments: operations, logistics, and safety.
Ops. So, got a couple of different types of teams out there today where our biggest focus is going to be muck outs. We've got a lot of work orders in the system, and we're looking to close those out. So we're going to close these orders out, and we're going to have the biggest impact to the community that we've had yet.
Logs. Most of your kits are still in the trucks. Check your kits. Make sure you have everything you need. If you want to cook a night, let me know, and we'll see if we can put you on the schedule.
Have a great day.
Today, I've been assigned to a strike team. Our job? Tarping roofs damaged by Hurricane Ian's 155-mile-per-hour winds. My team leader is veteran Jenn Walker. For 26 years, Jenn served in the U.S. Army. She enlisted at a very young age.
One day I was headed to the senior lounge. I had a free period. The recruiter was in the library, and it was just something different to do. I said, I'll go talk to him.
I love the idea that you were in high school and you walked down to the senior lounge and ended up in the Army instead.
I walked by the library and ended up in the military.
Now, as a minor, you can't just join the military. You need your parent or guardian's approval. For Jenn, that approval had to come from her older brother, who was already serving his country.
Like calling my brother up, and he's like, absolutely not. Like,
oh, he didn't want it?
Absolutely not. And then we talked for a while, and we were good to go.
Jenn flourished in the Army. eventually achieving the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 4. But then it was time to retire.
My story is just, I just didn't know how to transition. I was ready until the day I walked out with my blue ID card. And all of a sudden, I'm no longer, hey, Chief Walker. As much as the military tried to prepare you for civilian transition, I wasn't prepared.
So in what way? Like, how were you not prepared?
You get lost. Sometimes you don't know you're lost. And I kind of just stayed in.
Yeah.
I would not leave my house.
It's not the first time I've heard this story. A life of service, camaraderie, and structure suddenly ends.
I don't even know why I cry at this all the time. I feel like such a punk. I just feel like, and it's not even like that heavy in my, like, I hear other people's story, and some people have heavy stories. My story is just, I just didn't know how to transition.
Some can't survive the loneliness. The lucky ones find a way through it. Jenn is one of them.
I joined Team Rubicon following my retirement from the military. I remember my first op, and I struggled before getting there, and other people are talking about what they were going through. Everybody had a different story, but there was a little bit of my story in everything I heard. And I remember, and I cried that night just like I'm crying now. I sat there, and I remember thinking, this is the most comfortable I felt in like over a 6-month period after I had left the military. I get to serve my community, so that's the selfish piece of it. I feel good when I serve, but I also get the support and the camaraderie and the family from everyone around me. But we were up there on the roof all afternoon.
Jenn has come a long way since that first deployment with Team Rubicon 3 years ago. Today, I'm joining her on her 17th operation. What's our op?
Our operation today, we are on a tarping team.
In order to work with Jenn and her team, I had to complete a day-long training.
Any idea what the weight might be on this one?
300.
300 pounds. Good guess. Lean it right up onto the gutter.
But before I could join Jenn's team in the field, it was pop quiz time.
How many rungs above the house for the ladder?
3.
It's supposed to say 2.
How many rungs do I want to have above the roof line? The correct answer is 2.
Because in the class, I said 4.
When I was at the class,
Yeah.
I made we were talking about it has to make it be at least 2 rungs when you look up. So I'm like, so what you trying to say? 2 rungs make a right?
Oh, 2 rungs make a right.
Rungs make a
the way
right.
I remember it.
That's
You're
the
right.
way I remember it now.
That is right. He did tell us that one.
She said 2 rungs make a right. It works, doesn't it? You're not going to forget it.
Nobody forgets it except for me.
No. I mean on my team.
No, I know, but I'm on your team
It's my
now.
claim to fame with tarping. Is like I came up with the 2 rungs.
Oh, you were the one who came up with it?
Yeah. So
Oh my God,
so
Stan
nobody
told
on my
me that.
team will forget 2 rungs make a right.
Dan told me that. I didn't realize you were the one behind it. Today's mission takes us to a community in Fort Myers, a few miles from where Ian touched down. There, we met Deborah Cook Hunter, a widow who recently returned home after the hurricane to find sections of her roof torn off by the storm's strong winds.
We're here for you.
Thank you.
We're here for you.
Thanks, everybody.
Jenn took the lead and did an assessment of the damage, then quickly devised a game plan.
We'll secure the tarp and then probably put the flashing over it.
Use it to our advantage.
Boy, you guys are professional.
But we try our best. We're far from professionals, but we do try our best.
No, I'm
Yeah.
amazed. And you did such a clean job. Ooh.
We all come here for the same purpose, to serve. And it has been the most fulfilling thing I have done I consider Team Rubicon a continuation of my service in all of my adult life. I have been in the service industry, and Team Rubicon has been the ideal spot for me to land on in order to carry on that service to community. We do accept hugs.
Okay.
We do accept hugs.
Oh, thank you again.
Yeah,
Thanks,
that's
everybody.
payment in full.
It's been wonderful.
Like, probably one of the best part of doing this, when you can get that kind of reaction from the homeowners, it's a good feeling. Some of the reasons why we do it over and over and over again.
After a natural disaster comes the cleanup, the long, hard, messy process of getting communities and lives back on their feet. Team Rubicon deployed Sawyer teams to clear trees, while muck-out teams were tasked with removing mold, mud, and hauling out house loads full of damaged personal possessions. And I've seen firsthand how quickly the waste can pile up. So that got me thinking, what does Team Rubicon do with it all?
When we muck out a house, the debris comes out to the side of the road. That's pretty much standard protocol for TR. But then it gets picked up by a truck just like that, and then they bring it to a debris management facility. This facility right here is on Pine Island, and it's getting up to 160 truckloads of debris every day. That pile back there, that represents up to 95% of all the debris coming out of Pine Islands. And every time there's a big disaster, the federal or state or local entities will start to activate this operation. It gives them permission to set up these big yards, but it also sends out the call to all of those truck drivers to bring their equipment from all over. Most of them are independent contractors, and then they come down here to these areas and they start driving along the streets, sometimes just freelancing, sometimes they're working off of a map, and they are literally going by and picking up the debris from the curbside. These right here have got two trailers, and in the middle, there's a knuckle boom. Driver gets out, sits on top of it, and he starts reaching down with the claw, picking all of this stuff up, putting it in the back of the trucks, and then when he's full, he brings it to this site right here. Now, they're paid basically by the truckload, cubic yardage. So as he pulls in, there is an inspector at the top of the scaffolding looking down to make sure that it's been packed according to protocol and that it's full. Then he pulls in and the debris starts to get dumped. There are basically two types of debris. You've got the brush and the trees that have come down. Those are brought in, separated. Sometimes they're turned into mulch or they're burned. And then, well, then there's the sad part, and that's all the household debris. And that gets pulled out of the trailers and piled up. And, you know, unfortunately, what we're looking at behind us very well may be the life possessions of thousands of people's homes. Once the debris goes in, gets sorted a little bit, some of it gets loaded back up and taken out of here. Maybe mulch, maybe toxic waste, and it goes to different facilities. We're told that over the course of time, months, maybe a year or more, most of these sites will be completely gone and cleaned up. Some things will be burned, some things will be recycled, other things will go to landfills. This site, well, it's just one of scores going on right now in this region, and those trucks, well, just a few of hundreds that seem to be working down here 5-7 days a week, doing the hard job of cleaning up.
It's a new day in Fort Myers, where Team Rubicon's post-hurricane cleanup continues.
Hey, good morning, everyone. You know, every day I get up in front of y'all and I say, man, it's good to be us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so here's what I got for you for today. It's a quote by Steve Jobs, and I really kind of like it. It says, those who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. Well, I kind of think about that, look at TR, and I was like, you know, I don't think we're crazy enough to think that we can change the world. I think we're crazy enough because we know we're going to change the world.
With high temperatures expected today, the safety officer has additional precautions for teams in the field.
Safety.
Morning, y'all. It's a great day to be a gray shirt, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so same things as pretty much every day. Make sure you hydrate. I know it sounds funny, but legit, hydrate or die. It is hot out here. Other than that, no more than 30 minutes in a Tyvek.
Let's go help some people, okay? Let's go.
Before any strike team heads out, a logistics or logs team checks the trucks to make sure they have everything they need to successfully complete their assignment.
Things are kind of similar. That's sort of the key, that there are certain things that are just always the same. And this right here, this is kind of the heart of the operations. It's all of the equipment. So these are trailers, and they're stacked with boxes and all the equipment. And you can see, you can hook them up to a pickup truck, and they'll move these from FOB to FOB as the operations change. But the key is that anybody from TR who's working on these is gonna recognize it, and they're gonna see what's inside of it, and hopefully it's gonna be very familiar to them.
Today, the man in charge of packing the truck is Hans, an IT professional from Peru.
Hey, Hans.
Hey, Kevin.
So, Hans, is this your TR gig? Are you the equipment guy?
No, this time I just thought I wanted to do something different.
So this is just another assignment that any volunteer could get assigned.
You are here to do whatever is needed.
Right.
And I just happen to be good at this one.
Why is that?
I like organizing things. We have completed the inventory, and now we're going to put everything back in poly scoops.
Which one?
Those, yes.
The scoop shovels?
Scoop shovels. Sledgehammers. This is the whole kit.
You can pull one of those out, and the team can put it right in the back of the truck.
Right.
Sweet.
They're color-coded, and you'll have all the tools needed to do the job.
My garage is waiting for you. You can come by anytime you want, pal.
Just call me up.
Today's work orders have me assigned to a strike team with Art Delacruz, the CEO of Team Rubicon.
Does not surprise me that I'm mucking. But you're the CEO of the organization, Art, and they put you on a mucking team? You're the CEO of the organization, Art, and they put you on a mucking team?
Yeah, you know, it's today I'm a gray shirt, you know, it's just out here volunteering, doing what anyone else does, but yeah, mucking is a important job.
What was your first, I don't know what, volunteer day, deployment with Rubicon? How far back does that go?
That goes back to, I think, 2016 in Houston. It was called Op Moonshot, and it was actually my first muck out. We mucked out this home, and it happened to be a home with quite a bit of stuff in it. It was a busy day of, you know, just getting rid of all the detritus in the house that was soaking wet. The thing I'll never forget is the homeowner, you know, these were personal belongings, things that she'd carried with her, you know, for years from her life, her family, and we're taking it all to the curb.
In Fort Myers, Florida, piles upon piles of people's belongings are stacked along the curb.
That's one of the doors. I don't see.
Including those of veterans Robin and David Matthews. Today is the first day Robin has returned to their home in over 2 months.
We were inside because we went through it with Irma. Nothing happened, so we stayed here. When it started happening, he says, water's coming in, and within 25 minutes, it was already up to here.
With the water rapidly rising to dangerous levels, David and Robin needed to evacuate immediately.
As soon as the water started getting up, as soon as like the refrigerator flipped over and other things started.
He said, get stuff.
It's a death trap.
For hours, David and Robin were clinging to survival while being pelted by 20 inches of rain and narrowly avoiding debris flying at them in the 155-mile-per-hour winds.
That tree saved our life.
How so?
Because it kept everything coming around to where we had like a whirlpool.
Floating debris was coming by. By that time, the water was up to the railing. So it's coming across, and I start grabbing stuff, start making a little mini raft there to keep our belongings on, to keep them afloat.
Did it dawn on you that night when you finally got to some semblance of safety? Did it dawn on you that it was all gone?
Yeah.
I said when it first happened, we lost everything, but you know what? We didn't lose anything.
Part of our mind.
We still...
Well, you kept the humor part, so that's good.
We still have our faith. We still have our
faith is
family.
stronger.
We have our friends.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work, right?
Thank you.
Charles, the team leader, takes us in the house where we assess the damage caused by the 15-foot storm surge.
All right, so this is the room I want you guys working in. Take a look around on the walls, and you're gonna see, notice a water line that picks up around here, straight across, water all the way up. So for a focus for you guys, you're gonna do walls before floor. One thing about the walls, if we get in and we have insulation that's moldy, we're gonna have to Tyvek up. And of course, regardless, we'll face mask up. Want you to go ahead and get started and have some fun doing it.
Got the interior partition walls down. No problem because no insulation. Now we're gonna go after the exterior, and we are presuming that we've got fiberglass insulation in here. It's gonna be moldy, so mask is not enough. Suiting up, protective gear. Gonna get hot.
And they don't breathe very well. By that I mean at all.
30 minutes to suit it up. You look marvelous.
Here we go. Dude, look at all that mold. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at how wet it is. Yeah. Look at how wet it is down here, too. Everything is soaked.
This morning, the safety officer told us that due to high temperatures and the brutal Florida humidity, we could only work in our Tyvek suits for 30 minutes.
Time's up, pencils down. We're at our 30 minutes, man.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
This is the first time since the storm hit 2 months ago that Robin has been able to face the reality of the storm's impact. As she inspects the pile of items Team Rubicon removed from her home, she sees something that she thought she'd never see again.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.